morning and welcome to RTD's English News Edition. Take a look at our major stories. The summit of the ICT closed in Kigali. After Asela, the Minister of Health has moved to Djibouti.
The President of the Republic of Djibouti, Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, participated yesterday in Kigali, the third summit of ICT and innovation, a Rwanda initiative in partnership with the International Telecommunication Union, has allowed the participants to propose a new agenda for the Africa in the field of ICT. It is to respond to the challenge of the development through the use and adaptation of services. The meeting in Kigali was an opportunity for the actors of the private sector in the various governments to strengthen the dialogue and the win-win partnership with a view to enable Africa to make the best profits of socio-economic technology of information and communication. This theme chosen for this edition is the development of the city connected in Africa thanks to the power of technology and information and the communication organization by International Telecommunication Union in partnership with Rwanda government. This high-level meeting is fixed as objective to enable the participants to debate and propose solutions as well as the concrete action to promote the use of ICT for the benefit of economic development, social and cultural development of the continent. The President of the Republic, Ismail Omar Guelleh, has several African heads of the state and government took part in this summit, which brought together 3,000 delegations, including 300 mayors of various African cities, as well as the actor as a move in the field of ICT by the world. Smart Africa provided different events at the summit: Smart Woman, a Woman Connected, and the Forum of the City Connected to Africa. While the young participants will benefit from a platform in course of which they will submit their ideas to the technology investor potential.
The Minister of Communication in charge of Postal and Telecommunications, Abdi Yusuf Suge, has in his interview during this summit welcomed the willingness of the heads of states that have participated to put emphasis on this sector of ICTs, which certainly is the Bureau of Economic Development for him. The head of state stressed that the ICTs must accompany our school children in first education. He has concluded, the minister.
After the launch of the consultation and operation and physician and specialist to Asela, the Minister of Health visited yesterday morning to Yoboki in order to oversee the different activities undertaken in locality. The Minister of Health, Dr. Chama Ilmi Okia, has been accompanied to this move by the Minister of Environment, Musa Mohamed Ahmed, the parliamentarian and the region, the prefect Muhammad Sheko, the vice president of the regional council, local elected, as well as its close collaboration. Upon his arrival on the site of the ministerial delegation was warm welcome. Young people gathered in the main square of the locality to express their joy of folkloric dance songs have been performed.
In its intervention during the medical caravan to Yoboki, the Minister of the Habitat and Environment, Musa Mahmoud, has thanked the population of Yoboki for the warm welcome to the delegation led by the Minister of Health. He has also thanked the Minister of Health for this humanitarian initiative in favor of the population that reside in the remote areas. The promotion for the delivery of health care to the population of Yoboki is a good initiative for the population to receive and specialized care, has emphasized the minister.
The Minister of Health, Dr. Chama Ilmi Okia, has warm welcome thanks to the population of Yoboki for the warm welcome that has been for him and his delegation. He did not miss to reaffirm his commitment to provide quality health care to the population, where up until now many patients have been able to benefit from this consultation and treatment performed by the caravan.
Thereafter, the Ministry of Health has conducted delivery of food aid and drugs, in particular mosquito nets, products of nutrition for children, in food. Some 250 families have received such aid. The Ministry of Health and his delegation has visited then the various places of consultations, and the cures offered to the population of Djibouti are general medicine, neurology, gynecology, and among others. Almost 1,000 patients were able to benefit from the medical consultations and adequate treatments during 2 days.
The Minister of Health and his colleague, the Minister of Environment, then had an interview with the notable, as well as a meeting with the representative of the women of Djibouti. The two ministers and administration officials have listened to the grievances of the notable woman. The Minister of Health has promised to provide answer to the needs possible date in the shortest possible time. To the result of the meeting, the notable have not lacked to sincerely thank the Minister of Health, who care about the health of his citizens.
And now let's head to Hayu, where the Minister of Labor, Hassan Idris, has shared this morning the closing ceremony of the workshop of entrepreneurial training which took place at the town of Regional Council of Work. The Prefect of Work, Hassan Dabari Ahmed, and the Vice President, Ahmed Ali Sheikh, as well as Director General of the ANIFIB, took part in the ceremony. This training organization organized by the ANIFIB fits in the framework of the Caravan of Entrepreneurship that has the objective of raising the awareness of young people to the entrepreneurial spirit in order to encourage them to create their own businesses in a context where the unemployment for most young people in the country. And at the end of this training, the young participants in training were released with ideas of projects and the creation of company that can translate into business plan.
In his allocation, the Minister of Labor has recalled the promotion of entrepreneurship remain at the present time the only option for the fight against unemployment and poverty. He has also encouraged the youth of Obok to go to the end of the ideas, while specifying that the state will bring its financial contribution for the best projects.
In the framework of the closure of the sports season 2016-17, the Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, Mustafa Mohammed Mahmoud, has gave the kick-off yesterday afternoon at the sports complex King Fahad of Al-Bala, the challenge of school sports, which will continue until this evening. The Minister of National Education was welcomed by the responsible and the concurrent teams in the various disciplines of the sport collectives to know the football, volleyball, basketball, and handball. All after the various sporting events at school levels throughout the year in the regions and in the capital. This challenge of the weekend will be the confrontation of the best fitted in each discipline in basketball, handball, football, and athletics.
The meeting, which took place at the Palace of the People on 10 May with the mission of the Japanese businessman who came to inquire and explore the multiple opportunities for investment that Djibouti offers to private business, continued composed of a dozen heads of the company working in various areas range from a new technology to renewable energy in passing by the industry. A program responsible and revealing has been led by the Djiboutian authority, including interview with the members of the government, visited of our infrastructure, in particular the port close by the economic forum, which has given reason to fruitful exchange with men of Djiboutian affairs invited to this event.
To Djibouti to solve the shortage of the water, and we'd like to supply safe and secure water in Djibouti?
I'm Ken Takashi from Nextech. We are Nextech from Japan. Nextech is the company which is, doing software development, hardware development, network integration, and we have the product called Pojimo.
Concerning the Pan-African Parliament, the second Vice President of the Pan-African Parliament, the Honorable Safia Al-Jibril, has presided over the training workshop organized by the Academy of Leadership and the Department of Political Affairs of the African Union Commission, and in close collaboration with the Pan-African Parliament, to the intention of the members of the Permanent Commission of the Legal Affairs and Human Rights and the Permanent Commission of Regulation of Privilege to Discipline. The objective of this workshop was that the Parliament should promote the African Charter on democracy, elections and governance, as well as to strengthen the capacity of the members of the Permanent Commission of the Legal Affairs and Human Rights. The expected results after this training that all members have been developed a strategy for the promotion of the African Charter on democracy as well as governance.
On the question, the INTA General Assistant of Djibouti, the Olympic Committee of Djibouti, chair by Mrs. Aisha, had organized a gala evening entitled The Shamel for all participants, and an open sky dinner had through together several amendments, personality of Olympic and the head of Ismail Umar Gele, President, Mr. Thomas Bach, and the ANOS President of the International General Palafo, as well as the various executives. The program of the evening was very rich and varied. The singer Abaye Sid intoned the outside anthem of the prestige Anoka, which will vibrate the heart of the Gulf. It was followed by the various folk troops and the country who had presented the beauty and diversity of our culture in the Olympic world. And finally, the officials have been honored by gifts.
The commanding officer of the Coast Guard, Colonel Waisamur Bokore, hosted in the branch of the Coast Guard the Commander-in-Chief of the Operation for Atlanta, General Major Job Magawan, to visit the facilities and the boats. Major General Rob Magawan congratulated Colonel Waisamur Bokore for the efforts and the work carried out with determination in order to ensure maritime safety and security in Djibouti. Then he stressed that the Coast Guard in Djibouti is an important institution in the field of security for the fight against maritime piracy, to the size of the European forces since the beginning of operations.
In the framework of the caravan of cleanliness that improve each day more and more, with the strong involvement of the caravan, a new action of beautification. Of this fact, patriots from the municipality, the civil society are strongly mobilized as usual, and in the frame of the caravan initiated by the town hall, the local population of the neighborhood is strongly mobilized, with a strong participation of the president of the commune of the House, located elected representative member of the civil society, for collection of garbage on the sidewalk of the main arteries of the roadway. Note that the action undertaken by the caravan is improving day after day, where the inhabitants of the targeted area have always begun an action of painting with volunteerism.
In this opportunity, it is with sadness we announce the death of Fatuma Loiti Yusuf, occurred yesterday at the hospital. Peltier disease leaves behind her a large family, including 8 children and grandchildren. The late Fatuma was the widow of a man culture policy, the late Mahmoud Aleo, and she was also the sister of our colleague Dinya Aleo. We extend our condolences to the family of the deceased, and we pray the good God to welcome her in its eternal paradise. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un.
The news on the international scene now. Palestine, President Mahmoud Abbas has been received by Vladimir Putin in the seaside resort of Sochi in the south of Russia. He has given him the hook of the reaffirming the support of the Russian Federation to the solution of the two-state. For the leaders of Kremlin, this must go through a direct dialogue between Israel and the Palestinians. Mr. Mahmoud Abbas, which has respected to him, referred to the link between the extremists and the Palestinian impasse, while hundreds of Palestinians imprisoned in the Israel are on hunger strike since almost a month to protest against this condition of detention. The tension is occupied territory remain vivid, and the clash with the Israeli army frequent. That is all for this evening news. Thank you for watching us and have a wonderful evening.